reporting back as well. Sorry for the technical difficulties again. But let's concentrate a little bit on the race. In the meanwhile, Yuri Turkey overtook Alessandro Porta for third position, and he is actually right now about 2/10 faster per lap. Stefano Zero is the second fastest guy, according to track time. 1:58.6 was his best lap. Right now he's driving 1:59s. Marco Ripper, the current leader, is already lapping Verstappen. Already lapped him. His quickest lap so far is a 1:58. Looking at the gaps, there are no immediate fights going on. Ginappi seems to be pretty close to Nigler though. He had some performance issues the laps before. Now it seems that Nagel is holding Ginappi up, which leads to some cars closing in a little bit. Stelios Remmers has left one lap in mid-59s. So they are about a second faster right now. There was a slow Lexus. It was Grilber who got a drive-through. For cutting the track. He wants to get past. Turned on his endurance light for maximum forward power. The Lexus behind him. Stelios, the leader, current leader, I should say, of the championship, is right behind him. He's pushing him now as well. Already 20 minutes into the race. Still a long way to go though. More than over an hour. Puts Stelios in the same position Ginappi is in. Uncomfortable spot of being the faster guy behind a slower driver and having faster guys behind you. Up a little bit on Stefan Zero. He was about 3/10 faster in the last lap. Alessandro Porta, already 10 seconds behind Yuri Tokyo. In the back of the field, there seems to be also an interesting fight going on. Let's check those out. Again, a Porsche is involved. This time on the receiving end of the Aston Martin, though. Tommy goes beside him. He's now on the inside line out. I think Lavakek thought better of it and left him a little bit more room. Well, his next problem, Wust is just as fast as Tommy. So Stelios overtook Ginappi. We missed that. And Ginappi, aggressive, but I think he lost more time than he gained actually. Let's check out Tim Lauderman and Marco Winkler are pretty close to each other. Or were close to each other. Tim Lauderman seems to have lost a lot of ground in the last corner. And yes, I'm very sorry about the sound. Oh, we just spotted a spin by Tim Lauderman. And he can keep going. He might make an earlier stop than anticipated, though his tires might be shot. Meanwhile, Rivers overtook Ginappi. Oh dear. Now there's a fight between the Lexus going on soon. This direction. Nagel is again at the very front of it. Must be hell of a show in his rearview mirror. So far, he's the winner of all the fights behind there. He stayed in 5th position. But for how long can he keep it? Not in this corner. showing that these drivers. But how well can they actually manage their tires? We're now at the 30-minute mark, plus minus, a little bit less. And you probably can feel already the difference as a driver if you have preserved your tires or not. Especially if you had a spin out there. It might become tricky at this point in time. Typically the tires should last well over an hour. Also, let's recheck the conditions. It's gotten a bit colder with 20 degrees on the track, but still 15 degrees. While the Lexus in front made a mistake and had to give two positions. With Chinabe, that might be even behind them might be more interesting. They got really close in the meantime while they were fighting in the front. Tommy might have say in this fight as well. Oops, wrong direction. It's nice to see how they all take different lines and they're still somehow on the same pace. And yeah. We have again a pack of 6 people going on. And Nagland is still holding up really well in front of all of them. Also, I enhance the volume of my voice. If it's too much and I'm clipping, I'm sorry. I'm also sorry for the not loud enough voice. I take it as a compliment that you actually want to hear my voice. That's very nice of you. Front, looking at the time gaps, Yuri Turkia has lost some pace. He already has a gap of 4 seconds, but it also might not be the smartest decision to push the car too much and get rid of the tires too early. I hope the drivers don't get too nervous. Someone took the first corner very aggressively, kicking up some dust. But with a well-balanced car you can actually do it that way. setup might not be the end of all things, but it certainly helps. Nice battle between the Porsches. And Leffe gets past Chinappi. And now the Lexus is very close of Stelios. Let's see what this lap time of Chinappi gives. It seems he lost quite some pace. It's a 2:02. I mean, there were some battles involved, yeah. But the car in front is on the rear of the Lexus of Remes. And Chinappi in the grass. He's having issues now. It's important for him to not overdrive his car. This is what makes you slow in GT3. And the Lexus seems to get past. Now the Aston also as well. And we just heard that the pit window opened. We already see Nicolas Frage in the pits. He's on 16th position. Maybe he hopes that he can gain somehow with his strategy some more positions. And we see Tommy going very wide. Let's shift our focus a little bit to the back of the grid. Two cars in the pits. Frage entered there first. Where are they? There's the fifth car. There he is. Porsche on the outside. Yeah. Didn't saw the room there. And the Aston Martin goes off and he has to give the position. Couldn't hold the speed. He held his fifth place for so long and now he gave into the pressure that Leffe was putting on him. Well done by the Porsche driver with the number 19. Meanwhile, Nicolas Frage and Michael Springer went out of the pits. And Tommy Kalliokoyala has entered the has not only entered, has also exited the pits. He had a very early pit stop and he was in the group behind Negle. I'm curious how this will turn out for him. While Negle gets into the next driver error, gets back on track, and luckily the Lexus of Stelios, yes, it was Stelios, could avoid the damage there. Stefano Cinapi did a decent lap last time around the track, at least compared to his earlier laps. So he has probably refound some confidence into the car, got back into his rhythm, and now he can be the dangerous driver as we know him. "50 minutes to go and 15 minutes left on the mandatory pit stop time." Yuri Turkia thought better of it and went into the pits right now. Stefano Zero still 3 seconds behind Marco Ripper. At least he didn't lose time to the leader in the last few laps. I'm not sure if he... Oh, he's gaining on him. At least in the last sector he did. 3/10. Yes, he's gaining quite a bit. That might become even interesting in the lead, without any spins or anything like that. In the meanwhile, Yuri Turkia left the pits, now on position 10. '11. The leader, Marco Ripper, so far had a relatively lonely race up there. Now, can he react to Stefano Zero coming closer? He got a bit faster in his last lap. And he just rides over the curbs and the car stays perfect. Also doesn't seem too wonky over the last bumps in the fast corner section. Doesn't help him too much because Stefano Zero right now is about half a second faster per lap than Marco Ripper. Catching is one thing, getting past is another thing. Stefano Cinappi entered the pits. I hope he can keep his good rhythm from the last few laps after the pit stop. The pit stop sometimes can mess you up because you have different weight, fresh tires maybe. In this race, very possible. I just hope everyone trained properly, and now we see Stefano Zero entering the pits. That looked perfectly on the brake into the pit lane. Porter goes at least for another lap, but there's still 11 minutes to go to do the mandatory pit stop. Leffe now in the pits. A lot of the fights we saw earlier are now broken up by different strategies. It will be interesting to see how they line up once they complete their pit stops. And I'm seeing a possible fight going on. Stefano Cinappi isn't given any time to get into any kind of rhythm because Tommy is already directly behind him.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
The early pit stop of Tommy didn't help him to overtake at least Stefano in the pit lane. And that might actually bite him later on. He will have more track time on the tires than most of his colleagues. So him managing his tires will be a very important aspect of his race. And a fight between Negle and Stelios. And Stelios just went into the pits. The strategy of those people staying out as long as possible will be that they will be quite fast with fresh tires and relatively low fuel compared to the tire wear, while the others have worn tires, and when their tires were fresh they had more fuel in them, so they were overall slower. If that strategy goes up though, we shall see. And Marco Ripper went into the pits and actually lost his lead. He's now 3 seconds behind Stefano Zero. We see it very clearly here. I wonder how Stefano won some time, or rather Marco lost some time. The Mercedes does sip a lot of fuel, so it might be the extra fuel he needed. Current race leader Alessandro Porta. It won't be forever though. He still has to do his pit stop. Just in time to see the overtake by Tommy. Taking a wide line to get good acceleration out of this corner. But apparently he didn't hit it well enough to get an advantage. Now getting the right amount of focus and no tunnel vision can be pretty hard as a following driver. Even though I personally find it more relaxing to follow a driver than being followed by a driver, especially if the guy behind you is quicker. Raimondi now into the pits, which means Negle is the last driver who didn't enter the pits. He still has some time left, and he can bath in the glory of being the race leader. And as I feared, our nice six-man group from place 5 to position 10 got split up by the different strategies the drivers were having. And this is the closest battle we got left as a leftover. Negle is now in the pits, which means Stefano Zero will take over the lead. Yeah, it seems that Ginoppi can't hold the same pace as Tommy. And he's losing ground. Remas is closing in. Well, there are no fights elsewhere going on. Let's show some cars in the back of the field.
The window is now closed.
Yes, Marco Winkler is slightly catching up on Lavake, but they are still very far apart. Stelios went down to 11th position over the pit stops, which will be a bummer to him, I guess. I don't know what happened there. If there were technical issues or if he just had the wrong strategy. Maybe he repaired some damage. Dustin Wust in the acid green Audi with the purple decals. That looks actually pretty nice, if I may say that. Negle came out of the pits in 13th position. I mean, he was a little bit slower than the other guys, but he lost massively. Maybe it was the wrong strategy to enter the pits late after all. So far, Manos Halavazis had a fairly quiet race, at least on camera. Still 30 minutes to go. We just finished a sprint race length of race. And there's still half a sprint race to go now. Driving for 90 minutes can actually be pretty physical. So my respect to every one of those guys. And it's time to go back to Stefano. He seemed to hurt my complaints and sped up a little bit. And he got a little bit closer to Tommy. Remus also got closer to him. Sorry for staying silent there for a bit, but this car sounds amazing, and you have to appreciate it at some points. Saw some good fighting between Remus and Cinapi, but also some mistakes by Stefano Cinapi. Meanwhile, Tommy could comfortably get away. While I'm also seeing Nägler being very close behind Dustin Wust. They certainly make a nice color combo. And that Aston Martin got really close in the rearview mirror of Dustin Wust. Unfortunately, Negle lost quite some time with that. And we can go back to Chinapi and Remus. Who are still fighting. And I wonder if I missed something. They gained a position. Or did they? Meanwhile, it's 6 p.m. Already 6:30 in the game. The temperatures has gone down quite a bit. Only 13 degrees in the air and 14 degrees on the track. Also, the sun is getting pretty low. And you see the long shadows of the cars on the track. This is adding another factor to keep the car safe on the track. And right now I think a lot of the drivers will think about bringing it home. If they think about this. They probably shouldn't think at all, just drive. But we are very well into the last third of the race. And small errors like these will accumulate with a lot of drivers. Things seem to have settled down here. Negle is again close to Dustin Wust. And Dustin Wust just spun out. Oh no. But those things will happen. Stelios now directly behind Marco Winkler. If things stay like this, he will not only lose his lead to Alessandro Porta, who is driving a lonely race in 4th position. He will drop quite a bit. This is very early in the championship. But so far he scored 3rd and 2nd position. So this 11th position right now won't be enough for him. Maybe at least he can get a top 10. Certainly trying. And he had some speed there, but driver mistake. And now he had to work again. He has to work again to close the gap. Something has happened to Remus. He lost 8 seconds towards Chinapi. That might have been a spin. Wrong driver. Chinapi's last lap time looks very normal, so I hope there was no incident involved. Let's assume not. Now 20 minutes is still a long time to go. And he's only 3 seconds behind Tommy. It will be interesting if he can close up. Tommy most certainly didn't manage to get away from him. And Stelios worked back the gap. Oh, that was very late braking. At least it looked like it. But those cars are all different. And depending on the line you drive, you have different braking points. And there we saw a driver's error by Halavazis. Still too far away to go for a serious move. With the last update in Assetto Corsa Competizione, the drivers also have to consider brake pad and brake disc wear, which is a new feature. So the brakes actually decay over a race tin, and there was a driver mistake by Marco Winkler. Stelios is now beside him, but he won't be able to accelerate as quick as Marco. That was a scary moment, so scary that he even got the next corner wrong. Makes it interesting for us. And that another driver mistake. But he's losing time quickly now. With those lower temperatures, the tire temperatures might drop so much that the tire pressure gets too low, which will reduce the drivability of the car and the overall grip. Might also change the overall balance of the car, depending on if you lose the tire pressure on one axle or the other. When Tony is losing slightly towards Leffe. If I remember correctly, Tony pitted way earlier than Leffe, and that might be the cause of him being slightly slower. It might have also just been a small driver error. But those little things accumulate. Just when I said he was slower, he gained actually like half a second. There was a slight overdrive. Yeah, he's struggling right now a little bit. Got that one. Fairly quick compared to the Porsche in front. And he's back to 7/10. It might very well be that the different car handling capabilities are playing into this. Like the Porsche has the engine in the rear, over the rear axle, which gives him quite some traction out of slow corners, while the Aston Martin has this wonderful sounding Mercedes engine in the front, which gives more balanced weight distribution. So there are pluses and minuses to all kinds of cars. And that makes GT3 especially interesting to watch. This time he got it way cleaner. Shifted up a little bit earlier to not get any wheel spin, I guess. And now he didn't lose any time in the last sector. Let's see if he can make the first two sectors good enough to be on the rear. Didn't even need one sector for it. Porsche gets out of this slow corner. So nice. But also really good driving by both drivers. one characteristic of the Porsche is that he has the tank, the fuel tank in the front, which means the Porsche will lose weight over time up there and will lose mechanical grip, which might explain why there are some trouble that look like understeering on side of left. Stefano Zero managing his lead. The time difference between him and Marco Ripper was always between like 3 and 5 seconds, I think. Only 10 minutes left to go. Seeing that Mercedes in his rearview mirror, he probably won't lose concentration. He's driving constantly around the 59 and lower mark. And this all looks smooth and clean and very controlled. I wonder if Marco Ripper actually thinks about getting Stefano Zero. I mean, he can see him very clearly in front. He probably thinks about getting to him. And back to those two lovebirds. Attacked by Tommy Kaliokujala. But he's on the outside. And yes, he stays behind him. That Porsche looks like he has some battle marks on him. But those are marks of honor. Aston really likes the first sector, doesn't it? Oh, he's trying on the outside and then inside. Ah, that didn't. I hope Tommy Kaliokujala doesn't get too mad behind his wheel. He has to stay calm and focus. It's only 4 minutes left. I'll take the risk and have a quick look at Stelios and Negler. He closed up in the last lap. But he went over the curb. That typically doesn't end too well if it's such a sausage curb. Clean driving, nice. But again, no luck for Toby. Maybe he has to try something else. Maybe that's the only way it can be possible. He will have probably 2 more laps. 2 more chances, I mean. Marco Ripper close.
Final lap.
Huh? Not 2 laps. 1 more chance for him. Can't get as early on the throttle like as the Porsche. Now on board with the second placed Marco Ripper. Got somewhat closer to Stefano Zero. But he also just made a mistake, and I doubt that he will make it to first place. Even closing up in this last lap. Stefano Zero overtook Marco Ripper in the pits. Supreme strategy won over the very long first placed Mercedes-Benz Marco Ripper, and he also had enough pace to stay in front. He managed the gap, and he just lost 1 second in the last lap. Maybe he didn't even have a mistake. He had a decent lap time. Marco Ripper probably was just pretty good. We are turning now for the last few corners. And congratulations, Stefano Zero, for this wonderful victory here in Silverstone. Marco Ripper finished on second position. He had an awesome first half of the race, but then his pit stop went wrong. I suspect it was the extra time he had for refueling the Mercedes-Benz, but that's just a guess. In the end, it doesn't matter at all. Stefano is 1, Marco 2, Yuri made it to third position, and Porter is now closing onto the final straight as fourth. Leffe stayed in front of Tommy Kallio-Kujala. And Ginappo also in the last corner now, going for 7th position. Followed by Jerome Remas, who comes now as 8th placed car over the line. Laborec still has 1 corner or so to go. And I just see Negle got in front of Stelios. There we have Marco Winkler as 12th over the line, followed by the 17th Nicolas Vrage. Alavazis crosses as 13th. And Dustin Wurst now on the straight for 14th place. Raimondi and Marco Springer also finished the line as 15th and 16th already. Thank you for watching this race here with us on Redline Motorsport. Please visit our website at redlinemotorsports.co.uk.
Green light, go, go, go.
Also check out the Twitch channel for our Tier 1 race. And with this, I'll say goodbye.